surrender to the indifferent depths of the ocean. A 19-year-old Olympic hopeful, Mia Callahan, vanishes during her daily open-water training swim, leaving only silence where her powerful strokes once cut through the waves. Authorities conclude she drowned. Statistics support the verdict. Even elite open-water swimmers succumb to riptides, cramps, or exhaustion. Yet her father, Jack Callahan, a seasoned commercial diver who knows every current and reef along Crescent Bay, rejects the conclusion. For 4 agonizing years he dives daily, searching the same seabed that swallowed his only child. Then, on an ordinary morning in February 2026, clinging to a forgotten buoy far beyond her usual route, he finds her GoPro camera, still strapped in place, still bearing the tiny blue dolphin sticker with MC beneath it. One small, barnacle-crusted device holds 4 years of footage that shatters the drowning narrative and exposes a nightmare far darker than any natural tragedy. This is the true inspired story of unbreakable parental devotion, the hidden predators who exploit athletic dreams, and the courage required to keep searching when the entire world has already mourned and moved on. In today's video, we journey through 5 chapters of grief, discovery, confrontation, rescue, and healing, while mastering advanced English vocabulary, essential idioms such as fly under the radar, to remain unnoticed or avoid attention, originally from aviation and radar detection, and timeless philosophical lessons drawn from Stoicism, existentialism, and the universal wisdom that persistence in truth-seeking is itself an act of profound love. In the pale dawn light that filters through Crescent Bay's perpetual coastal mist, Jack Callahan descends once more into the cold Pacific, the same ritual he has performed nearly every morning for 1,460 consecutive days since October 12, 2022. His daughter Mia, 19, newly qualified for the U.S. Olympic open water swimming trials, possessor of a stroke so clean and efficient that coaches whispered she could medal in Paris 2024, had set out alone that morning for her standard 4-mile loop, Crescent Bay Pier to the blue water buoy at Pelican's Reach and return. Jack had watched from the dock, respecting her insistence on independence even as every paternal instinct screamed to follow in the sea warden. She never returned. Search and rescue operations, Coast Guard helicopters, volunteer divers, sonar sweeps, all yielded nothing. No body, no swim cap, no goggles, no trace. The coroner's office issued a presumptive death certificate after 6 months. The local paper ran a respectful obituary calling it a tragic accident that reminds us of the ocean's power. Jack refused to sign. He knew these waters better than the charts. The rip currents that reverse without warning near Pelican's Reach, the upwelling zones that can pull even strong swimmers under, the underwater kelp forests that tangle like living nets. Yet none explained the complete absence of evidence. So he dove, first with official teams, then alone, then with a dwindling circle of friends who worried he was destroying himself. Each descent carried the same unbearable hope and the same crushing return to an empty boat. Philosophically, this mirrors Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher born a slave in 50 CE who taught that we cannot control external events, only our judgments about them. Jack could not control the ocean or Mia's fate, but he could control his refusal to accept a verdict without proof. The idiom, leave no stone unturned, to search exhaustively, originating from ancient oracles who examined every surface for omens, defined his existence. 4 years of saltwater immersion had weathered his once powerful frame, arthritis stiffened joints that once moved with effortless grace, yet the ritual continued. On February 17th, 2026, something intangible, a restlessness, an intuition honed by decades reading tides, drew him farther offshore than usual. Oxygen low, he began his ascent near a neglected navigation buoy rarely visited by recreational boaters. Clinging to its rusted ladder to catch his breath, he glanced upward and froze. Strapped securely to the crossbar, protected by a high-end waterproof housing identical to the one he had bought Mia, was a GoPro camera. Barnacles encrusted the edges, yet the mounting bracket and the tiny blue dolphin sticker with MC beneath it were unmistakable. His daughter's camera, forgotten, overlooked, preserved by improbable chance. With trembling hands, he unstrapped it, placed it in his dive bag, and kicked toward the sea warden with energy he had not felt in years. Back on deck, his longtime dive companion Tom stared in disbelief. "After 4 years, you found it strapped to a buoy?" Jack could only nod, throat too tight for words. They sped toward shore while Jack cradled the device like a holy relic. At the police station, forensic tech Ethan Parker photographed every angle before opening the housing. The memory card was intact. The first file began to play. Mia's face filled the screen, wet hair plastered to her forehead, eyes bright with determination, voice clear despite wind distortion. Day 42 of Olympic prep. Turns still need work. Sometimes I wonder if I'm cut out for this pressure. Jack's knees buckled. He had never known she harbored such doubt. Then a young man swam into frame, face partially obscured, friendly voice. "Didn't expect to see anyone out this far. Want to race for fun?" Mia agreed. They disappeared from view. Half an hour later, a speedboat crossed the distant horizon, its hull bearing the stylized wave logo of Ocean Elite Marine. Mia never reappeared on camera. The footage ran for hours of empty ocean until the battery died. Jack's mind raced. Mia had not drowned alone. Someone had approached her, engaged her, lured her away. The camera, meant to record training progress, had inadvertently captured the beginning of her abduction. Historical parallels flooded him. The 1972 disappearance of snorkeler